I know that red flags and green flags are all the buzz right now. I love the red flag guy. In fact, I love his green flag videos. But I wanted to share today some signs for you to know that you're in a really healthy relationship. Because sometimes when you're young and you're in love, and then the enormity of, oh my goodness, I could potentially spend forever with this person, that feels like a really, really big decision to make. It can feel really overwhelming. It did for me. And we never have a guarantee that someone is like the perfect fit for us, right? People change over time. You never know exactly how things are going to pan out. But you can look at some information today, right now, in your relationship that will give you some good signs as to whether or not this is something that has a potential to be a really healthy, beautiful thing going forward. So here are some green flags. Number one, you feel emotionally and physically safe when you're together, and you can completely be yourself around each other because you're loved just as you are. That's a really, really good sign. When you can just feel like you're seen and loved for who you are, and you see and love them for who they are, that's a really healthy sign. Also, you can trust each other. They follow through with commitments. You follow through with commitments. You show up for each other and support each other. And you are both striving to be people with integrity, and you're both striving to serve and please the Lord. You're compatible in your values. Now, this doesn't mean that you have all the same hobbies and you like all the same books and all the same movies. It doesn't mean that at all. It means that you have similar religious beliefs. You have similar goals when it comes to money. You have similar dreams for what you want your life to be and the future that you would like to build together. And you're willing to sacrifice and work for that. You have a deep and abiding friendship with each other. You can be silly and laugh, and you really enjoy each other's company. And you're happy for each other when you have success and when you succeed. And then the cherry on top is when you have great physical chemistry. You're physically attracted to each other, and you really enjoy, kissing and cuddling and holding hands, and that's just really, really fun. What are some other signs that you're in a really healthy, good relationship? I'm sure there are many more than what I thought of. Okay, it's time to talk red flags, and there can be quite a few of them. So if you want more detailed information, it's in here, but I'm just going to briefly go over each of these. These are definite things that should give you pause and should be discussed and dealt with before getting married. So these are some red flags in a relationship. Number one, your partner uses manipulation, physical force, or deceit to get what they want. And you or your partner push past each other's boundaries and make fun of or belittle each other if someone is uncomfortable with something that you think is fine. You refuse to discuss feelings, goals, or anything about the future. People are okay with going behind your back and doing things that they know you wouldn't like as long as you don't find out. That's going to cause a huge, huge issue in the future. That one's hard to know, but you usually can trust your gut. Something tells you that something's not right and needs to be dealt with. If you are dealing with a current pornography problem or other sexual chastity issue, and you think that this relationship is going to take care of it and fix it, it won't. It will cause so many problems in your marriage. I've seen it again and again and again. You need to deal with that and be open and honest about it now. Nobody expects people to be perfect in this world where there is pornography everywhere, but we do need to learn our self-mastery before we enter into an eternal union. And if we're not ready because we're still struggling with that, we need to be honest about it. If you annoy each other or act immaturely around each other and just want to focus on the now, and you're not ready to have those discussions, you're not quite ready for this next step. If you're not physically attracted to your partner and you think that might change over time, that's not really fair to the person that you're with. So that could be something that should give you pause. If neither of you know how to deal with financial issues, or if one of you is or both of you are holding large amounts of debt with no plan to eliminate that, that's going to cause a lot of contention and issues in your future. And also one big one is if one person in the partnership is in charge of the other person, one person just lets the other person make all the big decisions and do all the planning. That's someone who's more interested in having a parent than a partner, and that's going to cause issues down the line as well. So there's more detail here, but let me know what else I've missed. I'm sure there are a million, but those are some that I thought of that should really, really make you stop and think. Okay, I just wanted to quickly end off this week with some thoughts on emotional fidelity. In our world today, when there can be so many digital interactions everywhere, and when we're really used to having friends of the opposite sex before we get married, it can be really easy to get into situations that are unhealthy for a marriage, a marital relationship. And so making sure that you put each other's first and each other's needs first, and discussing what that looks like for each of you, because one of you may be really uncomfortable with the other having lots of friends of the opposite sex, and the other may be like, it's no big deal, what's the problem? But emotional fidelity is a major issue that can cause a lot of problems in a marriage if you're not 100% on the same page about what that looks like. And so we talk a lot about don't cheat on your boyfriend, girlfriend, don't cheat on your spouse, but is developing stronger relationships with someone outside your marriage also a form of cheating? There have been a lot of times and a lot of opportunities where I could have pursued other relationships to the detriment of the relationship I have with my husband. And so I've had to be very conscious about what's healthy. And one thing that we did when we first got married is all of our friends that we had of the opposite sex, they had to be both of our friends. Like they may need to text both of us or message both of us so that everything was just above board and there was no question of putting anyone in a situation that could potentially cause a problem down the line. Yeah. What are your thoughts about that? Do you think I'm being overly cautious? I've just seen it cause a lot of problems in the future. So that's something I really want my kids to be aware of.